They have Tom's Picks, a free referral for people who are looking for a company to do work for them. Tom's Picks will refer the company that fits your needs, and all we ask is that you tell them where you heard about them. Call Tom's Picks at 804-1223 and pick up your copy of the Village Spectator today.
Now read Ocala Downtown newspaper online.
Good credits, bad credits. It's none of our business because we're not an auto dealer. We're not a bank. We're not your mother. We're OcalaForSale.com. Marion County's marketplace for cars, trucks, and SUVs. We've got thousands of sellers standing by to take your call. No middleman. But hurry, don't walk, don't run. Just sit down and log on to OcalaForSale.com. Prices and inventory change daily. Offer does not include dealer upcharge. Undercutting, rust proofing, factory surcharge, or delivery fee. See website for details.
All right, 4 minutes after 8 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. Galen is on the phone from Life South Community Blood Center, and of course he does this each day, as you know, each weekday, so that you and I are reminded that without us taking a half hour every 8 weeks to donate blood, about a half hour, if you're donating platelets, you can do it every 2 weeks, and it takes about 2 hours every 2 weeks, but whole blood is it's what we typically give, and it's every 8 weeks, and it's how blood is in the blood bank, and our little 2 drops of blood help out with everybody else's 2 drops. And good morning, Galen. How you doing?
I'm okay. Thanks, Larry. How are you?
Good. Where are you right now?
I left a little later, so I'm in Paynes Prairie.
Ah, Paynes Prairie.
Make sure there was enough light because of all the rain and stuff. So.
Oh, yeah. How's traffic?
It's not bad. It's not bad. The rain stopped, so it's okay.
Let's see. When does school let out?
What do you mean, for the summer?
For the kids, yeah.
I think it's like first week of June. I don't know.
So it's not even close. So I'm not. So
no.
I was thinking you had another family trip you were going on soon.
No.
Okay.
I'm from New York in December. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
It's only got about 4 or 5 weeks more left of school now.
How is the blood supply right now?
It's okay. We really, again, we need O negative. That's where we're at. We had a really nice day yesterday. Going to have another good day today. So we just need O negative, and we always need platelet donors. So that's kind of what we're looking at right now.
The blood report with Galen is brought to you by Penn Flooring. Be sure to thank them for what they do for us, and it's really a gift to all of us, because without blood, if you need it, you're not going to live.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Penn Flooring has some beautiful flooring options for you to look at and consider. They are located at 1201 Southwest 17th Street. They've been in business over 25 years. The bridge that they're by is called the McKay-Williams Bridge. It's the one that runs over the railroad tracks over there, the railroad tracks. Galen, we have a guest at 8:20, so we have to have an abbreviated version with you today.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I have something.
That's probably good. I'm all distracted. My mind's in Baltimore, so.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah. Well, that's crazy. We were talking about that earlier. I don't know if you heard it, but.
No, I mean, I live there, and so I know exactly where these riots are taking place, and I have friends that live blocks away from that. It's just tragic. It's just absolutely tragic.
See, I don't even know. I used to play colleges, and Baltimore was a city I went to a lot, but I couldn't remember. I couldn't tell you where the schools were that I went to.
Sure. I mean, and that's just it. I mean, Ferguson was a very small town, right? Very few people live there. Where in Baltimore, there's 800,000 people, and it's just tragic. This is being caused by, from what the police chief said last night on the news, by high school kids started this by running into the mall and looting and starting the riot when they got out of school. It's just heartbreaking.
That's what they're doing it for. They're doing it for the looting.
Yeah, and it's just tragic, and I'll be honest with you, the media. I watched Fox News for about 20 minutes last night, and Megyn Kelly and the way she refers to these people is just offensive to me, and that's what she says. Those people, and these people. It's never the we. This didn't just happen. I mean, these kids obviously have no connection to their community. They have no connection to the people that own those businesses, and there's just that's the problem.
Those people that own.
I wrote in Facebook. Yeah.
Go ahead.
But
I just want to say
it's always them.
those
Never us. It's always them.
and those people that own those businesses are on their side. Nobody likes what happened. Everybody is saying, "What the heck happened to this guy?" I mean, we need to figure out what happened to him. But that's not the way to do it, especially hurting people. And then they start a fire, and then they throw a cinder block at the windshield of the passing fire engine. What is wrong with them? It's the stupidest thing.
They apparently sabotaged the hoses as they were trying to put it out. I think there's just this disenfranchisement, and I think that's the issue we have to deal with. And I think it has more to do with economics than it has anything else. But, if there was, and I don't know the answer. It's just so frustrating when you see it. But I know the answer isn't to, label people. It's not to say it's them. This is about us, and this is about we. The government's not going to fix this problem. Who's going to fix it is us. And these communities need to start connecting, and more importantly, our leaders need to start connecting with each other.
Well, that's the role of the government. What you just said right there. You said government isn't going to fix us, but
that's right.
But there is a role for the governing people. I'm not saying legislation. There's already legislation in place. It's against the law to loot. It's against the law to start fires. It's against the law to throw bricks at police cars. But you need leaders. But you need leaders who are leaders. You can't just have people who are elected because they're pretty. The mayor is a pretty lady, and she made some pretty stupid remarks.
Yeah, she's not.
She did, and I saw her, and she later misspoke. And in her defense, what she's done in her first term, and this is her second term, is she's really turning around Baltimore. I'm going to cut her some slack. I don't know. She's probably ill prepared for that kind of a situation. But again, until our leaders, and we can't count on these people. The politicians are in office to be reelected, and they get reelected by segregating people and saying, "I'm with you," and everybody else is wrong, right?
Exactly.
There are no leaders that say, "Hey, you know what? This is for the good of the community," and so. My constituency may not like it, but in the long run, it's going to be what's best for us. And there is that. They're just there to get elected. And so we cannot count and rely on politicians to fix these problems. These problems have to be fixed by us. And I was really happy to see that there were members of the community, while there's burning going all around and looting, and people are in the street sweeping because they realize this is where I live. I got to take care of this myself.
But here's the thing: if leaders,
to me
if our elected officials are not leaders, then what the heck are they there for? If we have to depend on sports figures or entertainers to be the leaders, then let them step up and say something. We say these aren't our role models, but if they have the stronger voices, if they're the ones with the most influence, if Kanye West can get up and say, "Would you kids please stop it? It's stupid," then let them do it. Let these guys say something because the leaders aren't saying the right things.
No, and I agree, but I do believe there are leaders within that community that are doing the right thing and saying the right thing. The ministers and
yes, of course there are.
And there are
you know who one of those leaders is? You know who one of those leaders is? It's Frederica Gray, Freddie Gray's twin sister. She made the most amazing statement that nobody paid attention to. And if you're going to pay attention to anybody, it should be her. I mean, she's making sense. So stop. But they're not going to listen to her. You know why? Because they can get a free TV.
That's it. That's right. And so what we have to look at. And as a society and as a community, we have to look at this as how does a 17-year-old or a 16-year-old child get to the point where, you know what, I don't care. I don't care about this community. I don't care about what impact this is going to have. All I care about is I want myself to be satisfied right now. Why are we here? And there are solutions out there. But until our leaders decide that, you know what, I'm tired of dividing, and we need to start coming together.
But they could have.
For us.
Did you see the mother who went out and got her kid off the street? She saw him on TV.
She grabbed him by the neck.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
That's what it takes. That's what it takes. And the chief of police for Baltimore, he said we need more parents like that, and he is absolutely right. And when I lived in Baltimore, I worked with a lot of these city officials on blood drives, and so I don't know the current mayor. But I used to know the former governor, Richard Steele. He and I would be in meetings all the time, and so I know the fabric of that city, even though I lived there for such a short time, and I know those people care about their community, and it's just disheartening to see that, a few. We're talking of less than 500 people that did all this damage, and the police were just unprepared for it. They were overwhelmed, and they have to think about their own personal safety. If these people don't want to help themselves, they've got to fix it. So,
that's right. That's right.
And I have no problem with the police pulling back to a safe distance. And now we're going to have backup pulled in there today, and there'll be peace. But this city, it's going to take 20 years for them to recover, a minimum of 20 years.
No, it won't. Not 20 years. I don't think so.
Yeah, I believe it will, because think of the property value. What creates the fabric of a community, right? It's businesses. It's
not going to take 20 years. There's no way. There's no way that you can recover from a war in less than 20 years. But what really needs to happen is we really need to have a dialogue about what's happening between the police in these isolated, rare instances and the media blowing them up as if they're gigantic and happening all the time. 99.99% of the police officers are not doing this. They're opposed to this.
That's right.
And the 100% of the firefighters are not even involved in this. Why are you throwing bricks at firefighters? It is absolutely ridiculous that the press makes this the way they do. They take this the way they do. Somebody like Al Sharpton might take this and blow it up beyond what it should be. Some of these other groups, what was the name of there's some gangs out there that are getting press because of this. Why are we giving the Black Guerrilla family, why do they get any press?
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly right. Well, and they here they are making threats that every one of their members should go out and kill a police officer today.
No, that's not what they said. That's not what they said. They said they should go kill a white police officer today.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Thank you. But again, if you've ever been to Baltimore, and the police, it is a duality city. There is truly.
It is not.
From all over. There are people from there. There are more black officers than there are white officers.
And there is no racial divide in America. There is no racial divide. It looks like it on the media, and these kids are focused on the media, and they think there's a racial divide. There is racial injustice. There's racial prejudice by individuals. Yes. It happens on both sides on both races. But guess what? That's a very, very minuscule part of it. Our laws are in favor of what's right. At least they are now. They haven't always been. I know we have a history that needed to be fixed, but it's been fixed.
Yeah.
Now we still have people hanging on to these old stupid tendencies, just like the stupid Nazi over in Germany that couldn't understand why people. Never mind. I'm going on a tangent, but it's the same thing. It's the same thing of looking at people as if they don't have a right to live, or a right to bear children, or a right to drive, or a right to dress the way they want to dress.
I agree, but I will say there isn't a racial divide, but there is an economic divide in this country, and it's growing. And the way to fix that is by having jobs in your local community where these people have an avenue to earn a living. And that's when you have this urban blight where you have businesses shutting down in an area, you have to go in there and do some urban renewal. That's where our government should be stepping in. How can I make it so worthwhile for a business to build their business in Baltimore? How can we do that? I mean, look how long it's taking New Orleans to recover. They're still not recovered from the flooding from Katrina.
Yeah, you can't compare Katrina to this. If you're comparing it to that, it's because you're looking at the pictures on the news and you're thinking it's bigger than it is.
Larry, listen to what I'm saying. What's going on in Baltimore is big. Okay. What my point is when you have a disaster, whether it's man-made or whether it's self-inflicted or whether it's nature, right? It takes time to recover. And there are businesses that don't want to go into New Orleans because of the looting, because of everything that took place after that. The same is going to happen in Baltimore, and the leaders of that town. And think about all the money that was put into New Orleans to rebuild that, and and to say, hey, we've got to make New Orleans strong. We're going to do the same thing with Baltimore. We're going to have to do the same thing in Ferguson. We have to entice these people to build and start their businesses in these towns and start enfranchising the people that live there.
You want to know
That's
something?
the key.
You want to know something? New Orleans had plenty of business before Katrina. There is no justification for somebody like Dr. Michael Lang, who told us this very story. He went up there to help because he's from New Orleans, and he had to come back because guess what they were doing? They were people, looters, who were just shooting at anybody trying to stop them.
Yep, absolutely.
Why were they looting? This was an act of nature. They were blaming the president at the time. You remember this? They were blaming the president?
Yes.
I knew there was a storm coming.
Yeah, I know. Larry, I agree with that. I didn't want to sidetrack. I was just talking about the recovery of a city.
I know. But my point is, if the shooting in Baltimore, this is my connection, just to make it clear. If the shooting, the looting, everything in Baltimore is supposed to be based on some kind of inequality, then how do you what happened in New Orleans? Why people who have the mindset that they are owed something and therefore they can take something from somebody else, they're going to exist. They're always going to exist.
That's right. And the answer that for me is, how do we make it so that people feel like they need to make an investment in their community and that they are a part of the community? That's the key.
Well, I don't know if we can solve that problem here, but anyway, what a dialogue.
On the radio.
I had the end of the
a good start.
End of the road done. It is a great start. It is something we did just now that your accusation, your criticism of our government does not engage in. They talk about stupid things. They took 3 years in the state of Florida to figure out that they can let independent breweries have half-gallon jugs that they can sell. It took them 3 years to figure that stupid thing out. Mm-hmm. Somebody tell me why it took 3 years to figure that out.
Well, again, and let's be honest, does it really matter? I mean, I'm sure if you're a brewer, that's a big deal, but that doesn't have any impact on my daily life.
Right, and that's my point. If this dialogue between you and I, whether one of us is right or wrong, doesn't matter. The dialogue is what matters, and the dialogue will lead to the changes that will make a big difference. And I happen to think that our legislators here locally in Ocala seem to have a better handle on it than Baltimore. Mm-hmm. Seem to have a better way of helping us They have events downtown that include everybody.
That's exactly right, and they do in Baltimore. They have a lot. It's just a big town. I mean. But think about how hard it was for you guys to move in to the studios that you're in now, and the permitting issues that you guys faced, and everything that Dan would tell me about. Just think about how difficult government can make things happen.
Think about how heavy Dan's desk was. Just remember how heavy. Mm-hmm. No, I'm teasing. Well, look, we've got to run. We've got a guest, but thank you for the dialogue. Really good. That's good stuff, though. All right, where do we go? We need to take a break.
The Bloodmobile is at the Lowe's on US 441. You guys are the best. Bye, y'all.
Thank you, Galen. All right, and I know our guest is calling. This might be him on the other line. Let's take our break, and we'll be right back. Sorry for that.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. It'll be mostly cloudy today with a couple of showers and thunderstorms. Any thunderstorm can produce flooding, downpours, and damaging wind gusts later today. The high 77 to 81. Mostly cloudy tonight with a couple of showers and a thunderstorm around, low 67 to 71. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy and breezy with a couple of showers and heavy thunderstorms, the high 82 to 86. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Are you tired of not using your home's outdoor space for entertaining or relaxation because of all the bugs and leaves? Consider adding a beautiful screen room or glass enclosure. We are Superior Aluminum and Design, a family-owned and operated business with 20 years experience in the aluminum industry, and we are accredited by the Better Business Bureau. If you appreciate superior workmanship, call Superior Aluminum and Design at 817-8058 or visit us on the web at superiораluminumdesign.com.
All right. 22 minutes after 8 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. I apologize. We went long with the last segment. I apologize to the listeners. And I apologize to our guest, Stephen M. Rowley. He's the Senior Vice President of Cox Business. National Business Week is next week, May 4th? I guess May 4th, right?
Yep.
And one of the things I've always believed is that small business is truly the backbone of America. I mean, it sounds cliche-ish, but I mean, it really is. I mean, I know we have our big businesses, but look, this radio station is a small business, and you and I on our own have an even smaller business. And if it wasn't for these two small businesses, I wouldn't be paying my rent. Stephen Rowley is going to talk to us about, the Cox Business Consumer Sentiment Survey on small business. Well, there's my sentiment. Good morning, Stephen. How you doing?
Hey, good morning. You took all my opening comments. You hit them right on the head. So
I'm sorry.
Thank you very much.
Well, thank you. Where are you right now? Where are you calling from?
I'm actually in Atlanta this morning.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad you're not in Baltimore.
No, I'm not in Baltimore.
Yeah,
I'm sure you've got a lot to cover there.
Yeah, that's what we were kind of getting carried away with. But anyway, and think about that. I mean, there's small businesses up there that now have to fix whatever damage was done to them, and for no reason. It doesn't make any sense. So what did your survey reveal?
So, I mean, it's interesting the way you started it. I really think that small business is the cornerstone of America, right? So this Small Business Week actually started well over 50 years ago and put in by a president proclamation. So, this has been going on for some time. And what we looked at in this survey was a little different twist. We looked at what the consumers' impressions were on small business and really focused on what they thought and their perception. So from the East Coast to the West Coast, we hit multiple states. And what comes out is that, on a weekly basis, 92% of consumers visit small businesses once a week and 63% visit at least 3 times a week. So, this is more than a trend. Small business is not only mainstream, it's critical to consumers on a daily and weekly basis.
One of the things I think that I've enjoyed, as Rob and I have a small business where we play music basically, but one of the cool things is we can stop in at a McDonald's, turn on the little gadget we have, and check out if we have any email, any communication we need to make, and it's really convenient.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's interesting you say that, because one of the things that rang true of what's important to consumers or where can small businesses improve is really Wi-Fi. So, if we think of ourselves, very rarely are we outside the door where we don't have a connected device, whether it's a laptop, iPad, our PDA, our phone, etc. So Wi-Fi is one of those areas that, to your point, you go into a restaurant or any small business, you're looking to have Wi-Fi and that connectivity available to you.
And you know what, I was thinking this a lot of times. When I grew up in New York, and people say it's too big for me, but New York is really a lot of little neighborhoods. And the same thing with Walmart. If you go into Walmart, it seems like a big business, and I know the Walmart Corporation is, but every product in there, not everyone, but many of the products are small businesses that make those products.
Yeah, that's a great point. I grew up in Chicago, and I will tell you that, the results talked about what's important to consumers. Why do they shop at small businesses? And it was they like to buy locally, they like the convenience factor, and they like the customer service. So, if I think of my roots in growing up in the Chicagoland area, that's very much the reality. You like to walk down to your local store, you like to walk to your convenience, you like the customer service aspect of it, or more importantly, it's the Cheers phenomenon, right? You like to know people that know you, and
that's absolutely
and you can
true.
Check in. So,
yeah, that is cool.
So that's a big part of it.
So are you, as far as what you do with Cox, are you do the services that you offer provide something for a small businessman that wasn't even in existence maybe 10 years ago?
Yeah, so I think that's a great comment. If you think of what we're providing small business, it's really it's the way they stay connected. So we provide anything from high-speed data. We see small businesses clearly looking for data to connect with their customers, connect with their consumers. Telephony services, so your traditional telephone voice services, whether that's IP or traditional voice, long distance video services, and we're moving in the security side as well. So all of those things, I think, are are technologies that are very new for some, and some that have been here for some time. But really, the cornerstone of small businesses staying connected with their customers and their consumers across the board.
Cox has associated themselves with a Shark Tank. Are there any advices for the small businesses that are on there from any of the judges that are larger businesses?
Yeah, so we've started our own, what we call Get Started, a Shark Tank program that we've done in about, we're going to be approaching our 12th one. And what I think what's most exciting, Robin, is really just the fact that how ingenuitive and how entrepreneurial folks are. We've had the millennials to seniors come up with great ideas. I think entrepreneurship is alive and very prevalent in our society. And, it's amazing how creative people are. They're really looking for that opportunity to demonstrate where there's an opportunity that's not being met. But what's interesting, it's kind of interesting because, education plays a big part of it. And one of the things that we saw in the survey was that clearly almost 80% of the folks think that some form of entrepreneurship or small business classes should be taught between the K through 12 ranks. And, education is a big part of what we do at Cox Business. So that we find that as a really interesting drive and the importance of the view from the consumer of small business.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, we are Cox Cable customers.
Yes.
Right? And that's how we use, that's where we get our internet from. Yeah. So what's the conclusion of this? Do we, as business people, can we go online or something and see what kind of services are there that I might not know about? Or how else can I team up with you guys, in other words, to help us do what we do?
Well, first of all, thanks for being a customer. Well, a couple things. First of all, I think if you want to find out more about the survey, you can see that on coxblue.com/survey. It's a social destination site. Unbiased folks of 30 different social media sites there. There's webinars, trends, and then all these facts about this study overall. And at coxbusiness.com, you can find out more about our services that we have to offer the consumers across the board. So,
all right, excellent. Stephen, thank you for being on the air with us today and for helping us out. You're making the world a better place. And again, I apologize for getting started a little bit late, but I think we made it up at the end here. Stephen, thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate the time. Have a great day.
All right, you too. We will be right back.
Howdy, folks. RL here for Dairy Queen, and this offer's good till 4 p.m. every day at Dairy Queen. A hot, juicy, char-grilled bacon cheeseburger, fried drink, and a sundae for just $5. Or try our famous chicken strips or wraps. Nobody offers all this quality and value but Dairy Queen, and this offer's good till 4 p.m. every day at Dairy Queen, Silver Springs, where we always treat you like kings and queens.
Real estate is the largest and most personal investment that any of us will ever make. Be sure to tune in Tuesdays at 10 a.m. when Bob Kennedy, owner of Berkshire Hathaway Home Team Realty, will be answering your questions and discussing real estate. So remember, that's Tuesdays at 10 a.m. Call 622-9622 with your questions. It pays to be an informed buyer or seller. This is news you can use from Berkshire Hathaway Home Team Realty and your friends here at WOCA.
Career Source, Citrus, Levy, Marion brings together business and community partners, economic development leaders, and educational providers to connect employers with qualified, skilled talent and job seekers with employment and career development opportunities. Tune in the first and third Wednesday of each month at 9:30 a.m. to Career Source, Citrus, Levy, Marion, and learn how they can help you.
That was the sound of a tree falling. It could be your tree. You're going to have it trimmed, but never got around to calling Pride Tree Service. It could have fallen in a field, and now all you have to do is call Pride Tree Service, and they'll have it quickly out of the way for a great price. But don't wait until the tree falls. It may not fall in the field. It may hit your car, your house, or worse. So call Pride Tree Service today and avoid all those headaches before they happen. Pride Tree Service, 840-0750. That's 840-0750.
Wow, I can't believe what I'm seeing. Who did this?
P&P Tikis and more, of course. Now I have a tiki hut for shade, and I can enjoy the sounds of my cascading fountain while feeding my koi fish in my own pond. They even fixed my fence and redid all my landscaping. Nice to see a professional, reliable, family-owned business. Yes, P&P Tikis is the natural Florida tiki builder and water features designer. With free estimates, P&P Tikis is licensed and insured. Call 352-877-3307 for your very own tiki hut and more. That's 352-877-3307. P&P Tikis.
Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean, I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need my seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line, and a new spoiler, and a new truck.
We can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too, huh?
Well, as a matter of fact, join me every Monday at 10 for auto repair with personal care here on The Source.
Of course you do.
Ocala's information station, 1370 WOCA.
Ocala.